don't have any aggression towards the red box. Coldy reads it like a book, pushes back around the side of Silo, and catches the player setting grenades. Does that not indicate that they're setting up for an A play? It forces the T side over towards ramp, and that's where Dima is able to just cower behind the boxes until it's his time to shine. Peeks out wide and finds kills aplenty. So excellently done there from Spirit to just play that on the fly and really just take everything away from Gatekeepers, the little they held on to. They're going to go back to this standard little T-side execution with the wall of smokes on outer. They've been able to afford themselves towards secret, but now it looks like they might double back, and I like this.
I like the fact that Dima as well is very cautious on towards any sort of control room play, always consistently having at least one member of his team just clocking onto that area, making sure that, well, Seaside don't get free roam of that upper portion of the map. Isn't playing from headshot either, bear in mind. Very much keen to approach these big box angles. Meanwhile, the fight that is embroiling itself down into a secret begins to heat up right now. The bubble's popping. It is going to be a very volcanic play that begins to lead to a potential popping affair on B. But, as much as I eat my words, nothing is happening. It's all just frozen in motion. As with 40 seconds left, it's going to be Molotovs to halt Gatekeepers in place. Now they're thinking to themselves, hold on a second, we've got to go. And are we confident in B after all? The answer, seemingly no. Instead, they're looking towards this A-site, banking on Robin being the MVP here. But Starix, handing out a swift slap.
Coldy takes another as well. Stark still towards the site, gets the confirmation on the bomb, and the flashbang reigns supreme. A clean sweep from Spirit as they keep all 5 players standing. That's a full house on the A site. Starix with 3, Coldy with 2. 15-6 is the stat line for Coldy right now. And this is really just him again shining to life on an individual basis. If you look back at season 23, 2 seasons ago, Team Spirit was a whole other beast. They didn't have Starix and they actually had Kabakin, who at the time was kind of the forefront of riflers with Davcost on the op. But in season 24, last season, we actually see Coldy come to life, overtake Kabakin as that top fragger, and then the changing of the roster sees the removal of Kabakin and the inclusion of Starix. So I think that Team Spirit are definitely coming into themselves here. Again, this is their first attempt at Premier with a proper IGL, and again, players who seem to assert themselves in individual play. Coldy making a name for himself here on Nuke yet again. Gatekeepers down to the 4v5 already. They were just playing off of pistols, so not much to really talk about into this one. It will come down to the execution, but look at this. No red box control from the T side. Well, there's Sotfik, prying, poking, and prodding into the defense of the Ts, and he gets himself the frag. Dima, again, holds off ramp, because what do the T side do once they've lost their initial players? They try to charge towards ramp. This is an exact mirrored situation as the last eco we saw from Gatekeepers. Tell me Spirit don't have a read right now.
It should be almost so easy for them, and Starix, I think he knows exactly what Gatekeepers are doing because of just the way the rounds have played out. I mean, it literally is so simple for them. Dima, yet again, being that consistent player that I've rallied on about, being over towards that ramp side of things. We've always seen the same aggression towards outside. It just feels like we're watching 3 rounds run on loop right now. I mean, you talk about this Spirit roster, you incline all this information from their past, bring in the likes of Kabakin, etc. When we talk about all these names, one thing that comes ever so crucially clear is that Team Spirit today, in this present scenario, in this first Premier run, is that they've got the brains, they've got the brawn. Now, as long as everything comes together, this could be a very serious performance from them if they keep on playing the way they are. Nuke, looking positive at least.
Flashbang on the outer yard. Davcost waits till he's no longer fully blind, and he hits himself the flick. So safe is down for the count. Sotfik's already trying to rotate up from secret, but he gets caught out by Brolin. That's a big opener for the T side. Generally, they actually hold off on secret, and we see the T's stagnate. But this is a bit of an opener towards B. Coldy, already inside of the vent's going to feel pressured by the Molotov, so now he's standing in a pretty exposed position. And Dima, having held off ramp multiple times, could get pushed if he tries to rotate towards B. This is a good job of Gatekeepers to at least now split the defense. And it's going to create an opportunity for them to take ramp. But if Dima hits these shots, then it's going to get caught out. Robin down. Next in line will be Benji. He's able to trade with a headshot. Davcost gives up the angle. And a 3v3 still leaves Gatekeepers with a very real chance at the B site.
The The point here, though, is that Davkos gives up that angle, which actually is very, very crucial and almost underspoken. This is more than just meets the eye. An early trade comes in towards the slate either way. It is going to be Bobski checking for his teammate, but because, going back to that Davkos point, because he waited, it now means that in this retake, they still hold very, very strong positions. He comes in from ramp with this easy. He could kill Benji nearly every time, and that's going to be a case. Angle doesn't be held. Frank not quite coming in just yet. Starks winning his part of this play. It's all on Davkos now. Do it with this easy. Get it done. Running out of ammo there in the shots, but yet again, Benji missing. And that means that play is going to unfold just as we predicted. As Starks already on the defuse.
In those kinds of situations, Gatekeepers are hoping that they're able to both successfully take the secret, but then also come in for ramp late. And I will give them praise for doing a good job of keeping Dima on his toes. You could see how he was ambiguous. He didn't know if he wanted to commit to the B rotation or if he really should keep an eye towards ramp. And of course, he had the support from the players on Hell, and it's actually that support that allows for them to hang on towards ramp. Because if they lose ramp control and they lose secret, with the bomb plant for Gatekeepers, that retake is near made impossible. So Spirit doing a very good job of not giving up all of the map control. Sure, they lose secret, but they hang on to the opposite side, which is just as important. It's going to be Sotfik now to change positions. He boosts Dima up on the boxes and then rotates down towards B himself. So a bit of an anchor towards ramp here for the CT side, but Gatekeepers going to switch things up. They try to squeak in through Mini. Davkos with the op, finds safe, Coldy taking two, lines him up off the M4 and asserts the dominance from Spirit. Robin tag, at least with a frag, and the bomb falls down towards B. Benji trying to join forces, gets caught out on it, and Sotfik finds the last. An 11-4 score on the CT side of Nuke for Spirit leaves them with a fantastic opening.
All that has to be said is just the way that they refired all these angles. I mean, we talk about Colby and his dominance in Mini in that previous round. The fact that Davkos then slipped in straight away the minute Colby was taken down just means that Spirit always think to themselves, great, we've always got someone holding where they need to be. The Gatekeepers on the flip side, they're always going to be panicking that no matter what they check, there's still going to be someone there anyway. And it's a very problematic situation for them. I mean, you have to look at the way the half played out. Overall, 11 rounds back-to-back, that feels dominant. A pistol round could completely change this game. We could be looking at something just as bad as a 14-1 here, providing Gatekeepers didn't get the strong start they got.
Can Gatekeepers hold off? Because Spirit had some very clean executions. Again, I would say as expected when you have somebody as renowned as Starix leading your squad. He's going to be the guy, of course, to generally set smokes and nades, but it's Sotfik who picks up the double flash and smoke of his own. I respect it. Team Spirit going to be trying to exploit the outer yard, already charging around the rafters. Robin still underneath them here as he does lose his teammate, but he's going to get a chance to execute one, and he takes it. Great pistol play thus far, but Spirit still able to get towards the heavens. Brolin going to try to hold them back, and he catches the kill to Dima, looks for Coldy and takes it. 2v2 made 2v1 as Davkost's all that's left.
Diving up and down the ladder right now, Bobski unsure exactly where he wants to position himself. Brolin, a smart approach from him as well, just playing towards outside. Sure, it does mean that that bomb is going to be left in a very interesting spot, but at the end of the day, Davkos is still in a 1v2. The CT side, they got themselves a kit. They basically own this round, and the peak comes in. Davkos now showing face. Oh, that just spells a very disastrous end as Brolin, a stricken headshot to be delivered. Gatekeepers, a second pistol, and it's got to be said that these guys, they know how to approach these pistol rounds, and there's one player individually that I really give a lot of props to in that regard, and that's Robin. Robin is so crispy with these USPs.
Very true. Very nice pistol play so far. I did just realize that Safe only has one kill. And I mean, I'm never one to really hark on individual performances, but if Gatekeepers are actually going to make this comeback, they are going to need everyone to start really pulling their weight. It has been the Brolin Bobski show for the most part, both players sitting mid-teens. And while Robin and Benji have been finding frags, they're still almost at that 0.5 KDR. It is going to be Bobski himself to pop the head of Dima. That's the bomb now dropped, but Davkos on the timing comes on in from Mini. It's going to be Benji to smoke it off as he goes back towards the outer yard, dealing additional damage. But now Spirit very sporadic on their attempt to take some more map control. Very spread out as Sotvik's able to find another kill from the Tech 9. Brolin down towards Hell, spotting 2 players on Outer. But that's now the bomb making its way towards the B site, and Gatekeepers with no defense for this whatsoever. They're going to have to retake, but it's ramp contested yet again as Coldy is caught out. Man advantage and gun advantage for the way of Gatekeepers.
They got to do those double peek and they can begin to whittle down the numbers of Spirit, and that is going to be the case. Brolin, supported by his teammate, takes down Sotvik. If you get all on towards Starix, one man, a P250, spotted out Brolin, ready to go aggressive as well, wraps him from behind. Starix does find one, and credit to that. But Brolin still is going to overwhelm, smothering him with that SMG, allowing Safe to get straight on that defuse, and ultimately, Gatekeepers, they get themselves their 6th round. This is where they really have to link them together, though. As Team Spirit, sure, they won't quite have the money to afford a full buy, but they still may well buy down to 2k, and if they do opt for that, that's going to be P250s, Tech 9s, a mixture of Kevlar depending on who wants to go for that investment. And overall, judging by what I've just seen, Spirit still have a chance to do a whole lot of damage because those UMPs missed a lot of crucial shots on that ramp exit.
Already the push down through vents here for the T side. Sotvik gets snubbed out. Starix trades it back with 1, but Benji on the ump. He's got a player above him, needs to shoot towards the sky, and he takes it with a headshot as well. Starix, 1 of 2 players remaining. Now it's just down to Dima, who was able to actually get a kill off the Glock and retrieve himself the UMP. Has the Molotov, minute 15. I mean, there's no way in hell he should walk away with this clutch, but with Robin being tagged already, he could still deal some damage.
Yeah, kill or potentially even 2 is certainly on the cards. Wouldn't be considered impossible, but then when this fight comes in, when Safe positions himself outside and begins to meander himself behind these boxes and such, then you start to write this one up. Another claim left done and dusted. As Gatekeepers up to 7 now. Their economy looking very well held together as good as we can expect, I think. Team Spirit on the flip side, investing every single penny here, and we aren't going to see an AWP, but I think T-side nuke, you can do so much with 5 rifles that sure, you do lack a bit of that outside presence. At the same time, if you know those smokes, if you can go for those execute wall-based plays towards outside, there's so much you can really pull through that maybe means the close fights if you want Spirit try and angleize here.
Benji ever wary of the players from above, but while he's distracted, that actually affords Spirit the chance to push Secret. Robin making contact, does see 2 players here, and the flashbang convinces them backwards, as now Bobski's joining forces. The double ump up close can be always so deadly, but it's Benji with the op to catch them as they attempt to go back. Now, of course, Team Spirit have control of Secret, and they have Sotvik still on minis, so if they can get Benji out of Garage, then they're going to have full outer control. And from there, you can really throw a wrench in the works. You can start working through Hell, you can wrap up through Heaven, you can even go towards the ramp, which of course makes the B take so much easier. So don't be surprised to now watch Spirit slow things down. Sure, they're at the man disadvantage, but they've gotten themselves crucial map control. It's all going to be on whether or not Benji goes down, and he actually just falls further back. So playing the safety into the hands of Sotvik, who crept himself behind their lines and takes the double headshot straight to the 4v3 as Sotvik finds another. Brolin's going to trade as he comes back up from Heaven, but that is it. Sotvik pulls the trigger on the execution, and Team Spirit see a window of opportunity that they bust wide open. They hit the A site from multiple angles and clear out the defense in a matter of seconds.
That's what I expect, though, when you utilize the brains of someone like Starix, right? He always has that kind of manipulative kind of play behind him where he puts his players in the right positions, and they can do so much. And it's not just him, really. I think there's a lot of players on teams who actually look at and go, these are incredibly smart guys with a level of experience. So overall, I think this T side could really be where Spirit kind of come into their own. That collapsing play in the previous round, well, it's only going to build up to the future, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. And Spirit will look to end this one, looking for that final nail to bash right into the head of these Swedes as they are stuck up on 7 and already feeling like they have to make the play, which I think is a real tell-all for their mentality going to this round, as you can see them peeking up towards Secret. Robin looking to bare his head and see if he can go for the aggression. Benji taking that peek. But this time, it actually works out. Robin only just peeking out, nets himself the kill, then runs away. That at least is a much, much smarter affair than what we originally expected to see unfold.
And he gets the AK. That's a crucial game changer. Would have been one thing if the T side could keep control of that weapon, but for them to lose it, it's now only one pistol arrow for Gatekeepers. And another kill. Benji, with that retrieved AK, furthers himself with another frag. Tags Dima as well, down to 12 points of health. So that's a big individual play from Benji. Set up by Robin, who is now, of course, over towards the vents, trying to come up towards the A site where Dima and Sotfik do stand. Sotfik able to create some space, but it is just down to Starix. He's forced to come running through smoke, and that will generally cost you. Gatekeepers actually hard reset Spirit, and of course the money is still there for them. They can definitely buy into this. They'll have that Catalyst AK on Dima. He had 5k left over, but it's going to be Kevlar and pistols for the rest of it. I would love to see Team Spirit set up an execution from the outer rooftop, or even maybe just something quick through the squeaky and hut of A. Really catch Gatekeepers off guard, because right now they're feeling confident in this comeback.
I'm expecting an execution for one sole reason. They didn't get the UMP. If they were going to go for some sort of slower place and thought out, the UMP almost certainly would have been purchased, would have been dropped like Obi. But because we didn't see that, it makes me think these top 9s are going to be built to run riot, hop around the map and do what they do best, which is very aggressive, pushes through these smokes. But hold on for a second. Catch that thought. This may well be an execute towards outside, but it's actually going to be a fake. They are looking to pounce on towards the site. Very little awareness being brought in by the CT side, and this is actually incredible, right? Because they're dragging the focus of Gatekeepers towards outside, leaving just a few belittling minds thinking about that site. And that takes it from 3 down to 1. A 3v1 duel. Well, I'd count those off any day of the week.
Execution into the A site off of a bunch of flashbangs, but 2 quick kills for the CTs puts the T side reeling backwards. Davkos trying to clear out the ramp flank. There's Bobski with another frag. CT's just very content to take these gun duels, and it will cost them 1 life. Now, Benji's heavily lit, and Benji is now down. Back to the 2v3. Davkos trying to create more space here as Robin's pinned on the rooftop. Robin catches Starix, and that's all she wrote. Robin with a 2k as he swaps to the sidearm. Gatekeepers now on 9. They've successfully closed this gap to only 3 rounds, but Spirit are doing a very good job of keeping the economy low. It's a full reinvestment from Gatekeepers for the most part. $2,000 for Brolin before he buys his nades. 1.1 max money on GKCS does leave them with a chance to get reset, but it shouldn't be in this one. I mean, it is only Glocks, a P250, and a Deagle. This is almost as bare bones minimum as it gets, Flakes.
Almost has to be said as well that there's another benefit to Colding not dropping that UMP, not just kind of a tell on the previous round in terms of how it was going to unfold, but also in the fact that that opens up the door for an AWP potentially in this buy. So it's actually a kind of a really kind of positive thing for him, just to really be managing that economy right down to the $50 here and there spread. Bounce, tap it away, longer range duels here and there. I don't expect much, I think, right? I think Gatekeepers should really be able to just mow them away, and that's going to be the case here. An easy 10th for Gatekeepers. The Spirit, this is their buy, and just to kind of throw back to the previous buy we saw from Spirit, I think the one improvement that needs to be made is just better flashes overall. I mean, I build up this big round, I talk about the strength of this push out one towards A, and there was one missing ingredient that I almost expected naturally to be there, and it was one strong flash to deal with rafters. If they make that same mistake again, this scoreline may well develop into a 12-12 affair.
Now, when we watched the opening map of Nuke from Spirit, they actually started off on the CT side and walked away with an 8-7 half. A less convincing half than what they had here today versus Gatekeepers. But the real nail in the coffin is that once they switched to the second half, Team Spirit played 9 rounds on the T side and won 0 of them. So clearly the terrorist half was their weak point versus Flipside, and honestly it has been here as well. Sure enough, they get that opening gun round in the 4th, but the hard reset really puts them aback. I'd love to see something come of these gun rounds, though. These are the ones that they have to put on the board, or Gatekeepers can realistically make this win happen. They have taken the lead down to 2, and luckily for Spirit, it's Dima with the opening frag onto the head of Benji as he takes him off from heaven. Can they convert it, though, with the man advantage?
Me, I'm just keeping an eagle eye on towards these T-side players, their positions as well, and looking to see what system Starks has in place, because we look towards that result in the past, that kind of 0-round pickup on this T-side. Spirit, they shouldn't be able to clone that. It should be something different from them right now, but they allow these duels to come in where Bobski gets a simple multi-kill. Again, that should be something that is easily repaired, but it doesn't quite come through. Safe, tucked into a corner left unchecked. I mean, as Gatekeepers, they go from not a single duel to be taken to thriving upon all the pushes they make. 11 to 12, equalization. Looking like it's going to come through after all.
And back into pistols we go. I'm starting to get worried here for Spirit. Things have not looked that great. I mean, the executions are there, the map control is, but it's the actual winning of duels on the pushes in. Again, we've seen them try to fight their way into the A site just to lose the kills over and over. And this time, the Molotov forces Dima to play his hand. He just comes charging out from Hut. That's an easy cleanup and a man advantage netted to the Gatekeepers. With the way that the bomb's currently placed, I feel like they're going to try to just get it down vent. And with the opening frag from Davkos to the T side, that is a bit of space to play off of. But the bomb actually has to cross to even get there in the first place. Davkos with the op finds himself another. And now a 4v3.
Yeah, seemingly a duel scenario, right? You'd look at this on paper and go, well, Spirit, if they did play the trading game, try to monopolize a few positions here and there, then Gatekeepers would be left in very unfortunate positions. However, there is one key difference. Spirit, they aren't clustering up. They aren't playing together. There is no pairing. The system that I keep talking about, the thing that gets me excited about looking at the Spirit lineup, seemingly just doesn't quite exist. It's a false truth for me that I want to believe in. It just isn't there. Because now in these 1v1 duels, the bomb can tick away all at once. But the CT side, they're just simply overwhelming. The Davkos trying to carry the round home with an AWP, but I don't know if I quite see it just yet. The drop comes in, Coldy picks up the rifle, but they're already under the fuse. A valuable save nonetheless, but a round is a round. The Gatekeepers, they walk away laughing.
Oh, that's such a heartbreaker. Team Spirit with what would have been an eco victory. Sure, you're happy, of course, you move away with the guns. You're happy you get the bomb plant and that the cash is starting to flow, but rounds are important. We are now 10 rounds deep into the second half of Spirit, and they only have that one victory. That, of course, being their second bomb plant in the entirety of this half as well. So something's working out for them. They were able to create that map control and take the execution towards B, but not being able to hold on their flakes, that's just heartbreaking.
It's got to be said as well, something that really is curious to me is the use of the phrase execution. Because if you look at Team Spirit, I feel like they have the preparation, I feel like they have the knowledge, and I feel like they have the idea of, okay, this is the execute we're going to be going for in terms of a smoke set piece. However, when you look at the different side to the phrase execution, literally going out there and getting the job done, that's where they fall short. I think there are two sides to this story right now, and the side that we're reading, it's pretty devastating, if I'm honest, for this T side. They need to up their game. Hopefully this pause is going to suddenly help them out with that. But a lot of it feels like it comes down to just the way that they seem to push and actually get the idea done. The knowledge is there. We've seen that. The smokes have been thrown. The flashes have come through. But when you win those fights, simply put, the rounds don't go your way.
Team Spirit starting to move that bomb on outer. Of course, Dima holds it as the front man. I don't like that. Unless, of course, they do go for just a hard commitment into the A site, which could be afforded for them. We have seen them contest mini before. I'd also love to see them actually try to wrap over towards Hell. The only line of defense right now for outer is Benji, and he's playing back behind the aircon where he's able to drop that bomb. So that's a lot of information and control for the CT side. Benji just needs to call for reinforcements. CTs come bail him out of this position because it's a matter of time before he gets snubbed. Starix gonna peel him off the back of the cover. Safe trying to play from inside heaven. There is Starix on the outer yard. He is making a bit of a racket as he moves around, so Safe knows what's coming. But does Starix catch him with the positioning on the railing?
Well, that's a peak and a half. Starix making it work with that early headshot, but can he come further for a second? I mean, look at his HP. He's literally hanging on by a thread. Bobski, though, looking to be the MVP, drops the bomb. A wallbang comes in. Davkos connecting the shot right through the edge. leaving it all on just Brolin now. 46 HP. Molotov and Flash left in check, and a CZ in his palms. A kid as well. So quite literally, he's got all the tools. 10 seconds left. The bomb will be snuck on in. And Davkos and Subthick waiting to see where their opponent is going to strike towards. We know he's coming towards ramp. Davkos knows that he's coming towards ramp. The peek comes in. The shot will land. Team Spirit sending this one home in a very methodical fashion.
Very composed was that offensive Spirit, and an on-the-fly rotation towards the B site certainly helps out. Now, of course, we mentioned how Team Spirit have not had many rounds on the board, but they have been dealing consecutive damage. This 9th round, of course, they take it down to the 2v2 and they lose thanks to the defuse, but now in the 10th, they clear out the CT side, and this is a full reinvestment from the Gatekeepers. So if Spirit are able to win this round, and we see Gatekeepers start to get into the economic struggle, then this game could be done already. It would be pistols in the next, or they forfeit overtime and then try to get those 3 consecutive of their own with the best buy able to afford in the next. So it's going to be a tough one for Gatekeepers. A crucial round is upon us, and already we see the T side taking outer for free. Look at this positioning from Benji, though. He wants to exploit any kind of a heaven wrap or hell wrap whatsoever. We've seen Spirit already assume control of Secret, and they've done this before, where either they decide to keep moving towards B, or they actually move things back out onto outer. This time, the Molotov forces their hand, and Dima takes the trade after Robin finds one. The bomb now spotted, but Benji holds his own, and he will stay committed to the CT spawn.
This fight going to be locked in. Starks is holding off the flank, making sure that Gatekeepers can't quite slip in from behind. Something that is going to be attempted, bear in mind, is Subthick. He's got Vent covered. A headshot for him leads to a very palatable plate for Team Spirit, as they can go down on towards B without any real opposition. Brolin, sure, he'll cause a problem, but this should be traded in. But hold on a second, Starks. His shots aren't quite connecting. Brolin giving it a second now, the third. Looking like it may well happen. A P250 trying to eat him up. Davkos struggling for a second, but eventually the shot does land. But where problems come, Beast soon to follow. And Safe and Benji, well, they are titans right now, looking to pull through this round. Subthick, spotting on his teammate in the shroud of the smoke, gets himself stuck into this corner. But they have no information, only just now, with bullets being fired, when they know at least one player is up in that vent. Meanwhile, Benji, well, he's been leading them along a nice little journey, baiting them throughout the entire round. As then they drop down, they bait the defuse. Subthick nested in the corner. He loses the duel. Benji, time to spare, straight on the defuse.
Gatekeepers with an absolutely crucial round, not only because their economy is in question, but also because it's another hard reset versus Spirit. Now, luckily for Spirit, they have money for days. I mean, $11,000 on Davkos before he buys into this one. Sure, some of their teammates are now bottoming out their bank accounts, but Davkos had cash. And that does net them the full AK buy. Now, there's no op to counter that of Benji, and a crucial retake for Gatekeepers could actually put this one back into question. We are all tied up at 13 apiece. And a wallbang from ramp catches Coldy. Now, that's obviously just very, very light damage, but it's still there. Map knowledge shining through. Doesn't catch the headshot. T-side creeping their way in. Now, this is a wall of smokes that could indicate the secret play. Benji goes through it, though. That costs him. Now the terrorists could just push into the outer yard and just keep playing outside, assume control of garage, and wrap back into the A site. That's what worked best from them, when they were actually able to take control over towards CT spawn, and this time Benji's not there, so they could actually make this happen. But Brolin has something to say about it as he catches the headshot onto Starix. Robin will find one, but it's Davkos to rapidly trade it back to the 3v3. Sotfik dueling over towards ramp will find himself another, and that's a man advantage for Spirit to play off of. But Sotfik, ever so tagged, hangs on with 8 points of life. Safe towards hell. Bobski in lobby. They're going to try to pinch onto Sotfik. They know his last position, but can they rub him out of this corner, or is he going to find another frag?
Well, there you have it. Rolls on through. Safe, simple double peek allows him to take down Sotfik with a very craftily executed headshot. And one that does put us full circle back to a 2v2. Bobski, well, he holds his corners. Meanwhile, Davkos showing us that he doesn't check them at all. I can see him almost like a, well, elementary base clutch at this point. I don't really see anything positive at all from it, from the T side. Is Gatekeepers, all they gotta do is pull back, play around the window, the gap in towards Hut, of course, and the frags just arrive. They're there on the plate. You gobble them up, job done. 14-13. Gatekeepers, now they hold the lead. And it's going to be so damn good for them, considering their economy, it's not quite shipshape, but being around ahead is going to help them on the mentality point of view. And that's what I want to hit towards right now. As much as we can talk about strategy, the mental focus for this CT side, I think it's outmatched Spirit every day of the week. Because we've seen Spirit show some very big flaws in a lot of these pushes. And that seems to link back to the communication and just being in the game. Soptic, aggression towards outside and Rafters, however, at least sets them off with the right foot forward going to this 13th.
It boggles my mind how often Spirit can take outer control, but then falter on the execution in. Again, they remove Benji straight away, and Robin's next to falls. This is a very good chance for Spirit as they shine to life right now. They've assumed control of Hell. They have the entirety of the map to play off of, so there is no excuse to lose this. 3-man advantage, and both of the players from Gatekeepers are on the exact same bomb site. Head to B. Team Spirit can just feel out map control, and wherever there's resistance, avoid. Of course, Dima's going to commit to the kills, and he takes them both down. So finally, when it absolutely matters most, here in the 28th round, Team Spirit just come through with a clean sweep of the CT side. And what does it net them, Flakes? It nets them a deflated economy on Gatekeepers. It is going to be the double ump, triple pistolero with bare bones utility, not a single kit in sight. This is a round for Spirit to take, which would force Gatekeepers onto pistols in the last. But then again, we have seen Gatekeepers do more with less.
That's the thing, Gatekeepers, you set them a challenge, and they strike harder and harder. I don't see 2 UMPs and a set of pistols right now. I see a spear that is going to be lunged into the hearts of Spirit. The front of it being the 2 UMPs, filling the fins on the back, the rest of the shaft, well, that's the 5.7, the CZ, and the P250. The ordering has got to be perfect. The pushes have to be smart. So far, not so good. Soptic gifted an early 1v1, make that a second fight as well, potentially even a third. And that is where the cookie almost certainly doesn't even crumble. No, scrap that, crushed to pieces. Robin and Safe at least finding a few frags here and there, but we don't see positivity in the fact that Spirit moved to 15. As Gatekeepers, they're not going to be looking for any fanciful play. They have very little to spend. Their chance at overtime. Oh, it's 0-1.
Again, it's going to be one of these buys where they're only able to afford the umps and a couple of pistols. This time, sure, they've got some extra smokes and at least a kit to boot, but clearly Spirit in control of this one. Now, of course, we saw the attempted aggression there in that last round, but it does get picked to pieces as the CTs filter one by one. This time around, they're not going to gamble with the full aggression, instead setting the crossover towards the outer yard. Davkos posts up with the op through the door, hoping
Look
for
at him
someone.
holding it, Robin.
What's that?
Sees him right. I hate to cut you off right there, but just look at Davkos. He's literally right through the air. If he shot right then, that's a wallbang and a half.
Actually, he catches them. Look at that. Robin drops by a quarter.
That's what I was waiting for.
He's looking at the
I gotta
blood,
say
like,
something. I
what's
see
going
it,
on?
and I'm just like, really? That's nutty. I like that. I respect that a whole lot because he takes the shot anyway and it lands. Big advantage for Spirit, considering that this is all or nothing.
That sends a message. You can run, but you can't hide.
Goldie now looking to take Raft's control, assuming the position with the rest of his team as they will begin to move up towards outside. They should be aware that there is someone lurking within the shadows ready to slip that knife in. As it is going to be Robin this time around, searching for ribs. Soptic, an early headshot on towards Brolin, beginning to yet again push Spirit further up onto the throne, the victors of this match, with only 3 more frags left to find. Pete comes in from Robin though, finally leading him to that fateful kill. Problem is, he was set up for a multi-kill. Now, just the one came through, but the T side, they made a big mistake. They leave their back wide open. The UMPs beginning to shoot away. It's going to be the lineup. Benji gets himself the double, safe one of his own. Many a kill stolen away, and it all falls on towards Robin. The timing there was crucial. The Spirit, they leave their backs completely turned. And that right there was disastrous. That should have been so much better from them. They cover their back. Completely different round.
Not only do they give up their back fully exposed to the player who keeps blue box, right? That's the first guy who has the chance to line up 3 frags off of the UMP. I believe it was Robin who had the chance at it, right? And while he doesn't pick up more than 1 frag, he's actually able to at least distract the entirety of Spirit. That gunplay actually scares them. You see every single player on the T side just whip their attention around so quickly. And it's during that 180 turn that the rest of Gatekeepers come peeking out from hut, come prying in from squeaky door, and are able to clean up the frags. That's incredible. I mean, Team Spirit, they had such a lead coming into the second second half, and we saw Gatekeepers convincingly hold them back time and time again. Finally, towards the later portion of the half, Team Spirit looked like they've got it in the bag. The outer aggression, the taking of vents, just pure assertion with their rifle play, and the economy playing into the disadvantage of Gatekeepers. But then, that happens, Flakes. That happens.
What you're really saying is this game was so up in the air, you vote towards the left, you get yourself a result, and swiftly things begin to cannibalize themselves on towards the opposition. The tables turn, things are flipped upside and down. Reality, no one knows who is going to take victory. I think we can all agree on that one right now. It feels very uncomfortable to even think about making a prediction, let alone a thought process behind it. As we wait, and I think rightly so we wait, because Team Spirit especially, they need some moments just to sit down and think. Gather their composure, come up with what their real game plan is going to be. Because we've harped on about this all game long, and we'll continue to do it again. Starix, his brain. We should be seeing something smarter from Spirit, something composed. I don't want to see just these all-in buggy pushes, because those are the rounds that Gatekeepers take.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And while these guys do ready up, guys, of course it is to their discretion. We're just going to kick it to some tunes. So we'll put on some music, give ourselves a bit of a break, grab yourself a glass of water, and make sure you come back for OT, because that's what's up next. This is the Mountain Dew League, Season 25, and don't go anywhere. We're back. Overtime, set to go live. Gatekeepers going to continue on the CT side, which we saw them make a comeback in. You think they can finish this off, Flakes?
So I talked to you about a bit of music earlier on. I said I gotta have faith. This time around, I'm on edge. I talked about predictions. I don't hold true to anyone right now. I'm gonna see how this one unfolds. We'll go round by round, moment by moment. And so far, the first moment to check yourself out upon is the way that Spirit are approaching this outside angle. They're clearing off these boxes, beginning to take control, passive control of that, bear in mind, but control nonetheless of T-Red. Smoke's beginning to find himself down as well, so it's been a lot more of an ability to walk on out. Robin, though, that seems like a jewel that he should never get on towards Sophic.
So again, we're going to be finding Spirit going to the outer yard. This is what started to work for them towards the end of their T side. Benji with a brand new angle. Oh, but he whiffs! Oh,
That
no.
is heartbreaking.
Dima
Not
clears
the
the
sort of thing you
corner.
wanna see. No words, honestly.
No, that's a very unfortunate. I mean, it's not done. It's not a throwaway moment, but that could have really been a opportunity for Gatekeepers to assert themselves. We'll see where Spirit can go from this. They do have the players sitting outside Heaven. They've got their hands on secret control, but clearly they're willing to linger in that garage outside. So no commitment as of yet, as there is still 3 players for Gatekeepers stacked on the A site.
Robin peeking out and yet again gets himself a very simplistic jewel on towards Starix, one that holds a lot of nature. There's going to be Bobski to drop one down. Brolin beginning to mow away as he just holds left click. And the frags seem to just appear for him at this point. He's got the last man standing. Hey, you got a bump on. That's going to help your economy. But that's about it. And I think at this stage and over time, economy isn't really the sort of points that we want to be getting into. The nitty-gritty, it all comes down to strategy. And there's a lot of the times where I feel like Spirit just give themselves up early frags that shouldn't come through. I mean, I feel like they're always playing 5v4 due to something that just shouldn't happen. I described it kind of the door peek at the start of the round then. I look towards Rafters as well. There really is a lot of examples.
Again, we have seen Spirit just starting to rely on this outer control, and they have at this point, 2 plays off of it. They've been wrapping over towards CT spawn and trying to come in from heaven, which they then split off of Mini as well. And then multiple other times, they'll just commit to moving down to lower B. But when they do commit to lower B, they don't have anybody pressuring the ramp side. So that's always going to facilitate the retake for the CTs. It leaves them with a good positioning to keep an eye from above on the bomb site, and then also to just push forward in. It's an easy spot to use your utility with, and because this is overtime, because there is no economic struggle, the CTs are prepared for this. Again, it is going to be the setup in towards lobby, something new, but the bomb now spotted and dropped thanks to Bobski, who does fall to the op shot from Davkos, looking for number 2. Flashbang comes in up close, and he takes it. Man advantage to the favor of Spirit as Brolin duels towards ramp. Benji rotating up from heavens, trying to set the defense in position. But this is Spirit to just slow things down. They've got a minute to play off of.
Like beginning to dig his heels in towards ramp at this point. Needs to bite the bullet in the side if he's going to go, just to do it. Just to get it done. Channel the inner Mashiach booth moment. I mean, you just got to motivate yourself to make that push. Being slow here isn't actually a benefit for Team Spirit. They begin to move on down. The site is theirs, but the longer they take, the quicker those rotates come in. 35 seconds or so left. Smoke should allow a bomb plant to come through if they just want to jump on it. Saltvic looking like he wants to get himself into an aggressive angle. Takes the fight and vent, gets one. Goes for a second caution. Thrown to the wind. The Spirit, they face everything. Hold these angles, take those fights. Brolin again on towards the Saltvic. He's 1 HP. Safe. One problem alone. Davkos AWP locked in on him.
Davkos continues to hold off that angle, but Brolin peeks out. Untradeable spot. A safe is able to take the headshot following suit down to the 1v2, but Saltvic holds him off. And that's a round for Spirit, tying things up at 16 apiece and keeping OT in question. Big round on the cards here for Spirit. This will be the last attempt at the T side. We have now seen them play lobby into B. That's a bit of a change up, something that was not successful throughout regulation, but I'd like to see them change up the pace because honestly, the outer control was getting a little predictable. They were, they were going over towards Secret and then either prying towards A or B, but that time lobby was emphasized and it ultimately pays off. Once more, the bomb heading out towards the red box with a player by its side. Wall of smokes allows the cross, and they've already made it down Secret. Now they have the lobby control. So the first part of the puzzle, take Secret. Next up, find ramp. And that's where the lobby players are going to come into question.
Like the problem is, though, is that this push is very transparent. Gatekeepers should be able to see right through this. Robin already beginning to put the pieces there to hold things off. The frag grenade is just one part of that. All about this puzzle. You keep referencing it, and it's a very apt way of describing the situation. Robin, headshot angle, Dima winning the duel, though. That at least will turn the table somewhat and find things almost flipped up in the air as the glasses begin to be smashed. Narix. That's an awkward fight, though. One that we could have seen won by either side, but neither of which will walk away.
I like this.
Davkos. I like it too.
I mean, Spirit are currently setting up a really nice play here. It's multilateral. They send their players towards Secret, and then they continue on that outer aggression from Catwalk. Now, Benji, of course, finally catches somebody with the CT angle, but you're so locked into it at that point. Davkos takes the trade, safe with one, finds Coldy in response, and a 3v1 is what we're left with. So initially, that B control starts to get the rotation from Gatekeepers down below. See how Bobski has to rotate up? He's done. But the only reason that Spirit are allowed to actually come back into the A site is because they use that outer flank. So they gambled with the B play, they get into Secret. That opens up some possibilities. They then throw a second gamble on the line by wrapping players around Catwalk, which then creates more possibilities. And when you have all of those avenues to pursue, it's only a matter of time that you're able to find one that's in for the taking. Gatekeepers unable to hold after all of those pushes from the T side. They will give up 2 rounds in that first half of OT and now need to come up with 3 on their T side if they want the win. Now remember, it was an 11-4 half after Spirit played their CT regulation. And so things could be in question here for the Gatekeepers. But at least the economy is not a question. They've got themselves the full buy, and they opt not to buy that AWP.
One round now. That's all that Gatekeepers do need, though, to at least equalize things. So, as much as you can look ahead to the future for the 3, I think, again, it's going to come down to Gatekeepers taking it just inch by inch, mile by mile. They try and climb themselves up this mountain. So far, it seems to be a lot of aggression coming in towards outside. A wall of smokes and a Molotov that is going to burn away and do a hell of a lot of damage on towards Brolin, in fairness. Actually standing in it for a little while there. No real reason behind it, just a subtle mistake that will begin to take hold as this T-side embroil themselves in towards Secret. But across, very delayed. And that delayed nature allows Davkos an easy first blood. It's so important to be able to get that first kill, as Gatekeepers now on their T side are already left with a one-man disadvantage, with the frag grenade coming in towards Secret. That makes a second as well. The flash follows on up. Sophic, if he peeks here, we could see a third come through. And that's where things just go from a problem to a disaster. As Sophic, he does his job. He slams the door shut. Now, well, the rest of the team, they fill the gaps.
Benji, 1v5. A tall task, most certainly ahead of him. CT starting to box him in as well. Starks has the retreat, so even if he puts up a fight and grabs a couple kills, he should never get out alive. And he won't. As his noggin gets popped on the push across, that's where Gatekeepers will lose the round. Team Spirit now securing double OT at the absolute least. And a single round on their CT side will seal the deal with a victory. Again, this was a game that looked as though it could have been done quite quickly. We have gone the distance into overtime. But now the match is in question. Gatekeepers need both. And at least they have another buy on the cards to do it.
Bear in mind also playing for that first win, so that hunger to move themselves up the rankings also begins to, well, kick in. Something they can feed upon right now. Already, it's going to be some early utility usage. The same old sort of presence comes in towards the outside portion of the map. They have a little bit as well towards ramp this time around. They like kind of safe spot. He's in crossfire as well with Brolin, which could lead to an early kill potentially. Bobski, solo, down in towards Secret. And that's ballsy. Davkos taking advantage of that with his AWP, gets that kill. Trey comes in from Robin, however. And a lack of information for this CT side. You do see them begin to rotate down towards B. It looks like they've understood the gist of the play, but Davkos is still running right with his AWP. Colby denies the plant just by being in this position. 55 seconds left. They cannot drop down just yet. Colby causing a problem, opens up the doorway and begins to fire on through. Larrick's stuck in vent. But doesn't matter, because the minute he pops on out, he can do so much in terms of dropping that bomb. The power comes in. Robin left lifeless. Colby still there lurking in a corner. Brolin finally secures a trade, but perhaps too little too late. As now to 2 versus 3 with 30 seconds on the clock. Dancing around Silo. It takes 2 to tango, and he's left partners.
Done and dusted is map number 2. Team Spirit weather the storm of the comeback here from Gatekeepers, who stick true to their name and make it a bit of a struggle. But ultimately, it is going to be Spirit just wiggling their way out of that with the win. So map number 2 does come to a close and a victory on Nuke for Spirit. Their record now sits 1-1. Gatekeepers, well, experiencing a second loss. So GG to these two teams, and we will move forward with our third and final map of the night. That was expected to start 10 minutes ago, so I'm sure we'll be back with it as soon as possible. It is, of course, going to be North Academy versus Alternate Attacks. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. This is the Mountain Dew League, Season 25. Do not go too far.
Superstar.